Monday, June 10th. Welcome back to the Damon Bruce Show. It is wonderful to have you back here. Fun weekend, good weekend in the rearview mirror. Had a great time starting off Friday at the reverse boycott over at Line 51. Let me thank Last Dive Bar. Let me thank Damon Amendolora. Let me thank my wife Jillian, who did more to plug stuff in than most engineers ever do on a remote. So I really appreciate everyone who came out, was a part of a great day. Saw some Plusers out there, saw Habes and Red Jet. And let's see, Baron Red came on out there. Rob C-Note sticks a hundo in my hand and just walks away. He's like a man of mystery. So I'm going up to Tahoe. Peace. Great to see everyone. It was a really fun day. More videos are going to be coming up throughout the day on what that all meant, and be on the lookout for a very interesting conversation with the mayor of Oakland, where she basically gives John Fisher the middle finger right there in the interview. So you're going to want to check that out a little bit later on. We are here, obviously, to start with the latest headache that the 49ers just can't find enough aspirin to get rid of, and that is the fact that Brandon Aiyuk seems to be very much in a stalemate with the 49ers in terms of any contract negotiation. And what a frustrating thing. A contractual stalemate doesn't sound like there's much give and take happening on either side of the table. Aiyuk is sitting at a dollar amount that the 49ers don't want to get to or are reluctant to get to, and it just feels like this conversation should be over by now. There were avenues to get out of this conversation by either getting the deal done with the right amount of money or acknowledging you're not going to come up with the right amount of money to satisfy this player and conducting business as such. Feels like the 49ers played a waiting game that kind of backfired on them. There's also the element of, look, Brandon Aiyuk, we exercised your last option year for $14 million. See you on the football field. See on the football field, fines accrue, and feelings are hurt, and nobody's happy, and everyone's getting side eyes, and that's not really what I want around this team either. And I don't think any 49er fan wants that around this team. You encompass this with the fact that Trent Williams is going, wait a minute, still one of the best tackles in all of football over here, and I want some guaranteed money on my contract. Come on, man. It's a little bit more of a headache than I think a lot of people were anticipating looking at in what was supposed to be a very smooth offseason for the 49ers, where Kyle Shanahan was talking about how having everybody in camp is just going to be so good for Brock Purdy and the confidence in his first full offseason without coming off of surgery. Like, all of the smooth run-up to the year feels a little less than smooth because of the issue that simply will not go away. As I was just talking about with Larry Krueger on Wake Up this gorgeous Monday morning here in the Bay Area, you know, it's easy to say that the 49ers in a way have misplayed this, but also when you think about it, Team Aiyuk may have misplayed this a little on their own. I know that they were waiting for Justin Jefferson to set that market, which he's done. But if the team is determined that you are not on that top shelf of that market, then you waited for a number to come in that's just going to make any sort of negotiations more acrimonious than, harmonious. And if you had walked up to Team Aiyuk right now and said, okay, go ahead and have your contract dispute, but oh, by the way, what is going to be a part of it is the 49ers are taking a wide receiver in the first round and in the fourth round. How do you feel about where you stand on this team now? I don't know if Team Aiyuk really thought that the 49ers were not just going to once dip, but double dip into the rookie wide receiver class. And in a game of musical chairs, there is some depth in that wide receiver room that maybe Brandon Aiyuk was counting on the 49ers not being able to lean into, which means they had to give him what he wanted. I don't know if that universe quite exists down in Santa Clara the way that Brandon Aiyuk thought it might. So, there's also this, right? There is also this simple question. Oh, by the way, Gina was there too. Hello, Gina, if you're in here. It's great to finally meet Gina out at the Line 51. But just imagine. It's just a thought exercise. I'm not trying to bring any bad karma on anyone, but Brandon Aiyuk has been, we won't even imagine an injury. Who's it? Brandon Aiyuk has been abducted by extraterrestrials. The ship lands, they take Brandon Aiyuk, up to space, anal probes, whatever. I don't want to wish that on anybody either. But whatever aliens do when they abduct human beings, Brandon Aiyuk, sadly, has been abducted. Are the 49ers still a playoff team? Are the 49ers still a playoff team if Brandon Aiyuk weren't to play a snap this year? I think they are. So it kind of hurts the Brandon Aiyuk. You can't have what you want without me. It would be a weird way to go about getting what you want without me, but if Pearsall hits, if Cowing hits, if Juwan Jennings is officially ready for his close-up, if Debo has the kind of year that got him his big deal from 2 years ago, maybe that changes the equation. Like, I still think the 49ers are a damn good football team without Brandon Aiyuk. With him, they're even better. But he's not as essential as Trent Williams, for being totally honest. You got more Brandon Aiyuk-ish play to find on your roster in your wide receiver room than you got Trent Williams-ish play to be found in your offensive line room. So the whole thing feels like a standoff that has gone on too long. It's not quite Dog Day Afternoon level standoff here, but it doesn't seem like there's an awful lot of negotiation happening right now. There's a lot of cooler heads prevailing news coming out of anywhere. Matt Mayoko said, hey, they might just say, you got a $14 million fifth-year option exercise right now. Take it or leave it. Fines accrue. Whoa, okay. Well, that would be a level of hardball that could have some hard feelings about it. And I just don't want this season to have any hard feelings about it. I don't. I don't want that. I don't think you want that. I don't think anybody wants that. Sip of the day's already passed. You all know the rules by now. You all understand the rules by now. I'll tell you the thing that also sort of sucks here, and I brought this up. Imagine if you're Debo Samuel. Like, you did get taken care of, but now here you are. You're the guy at camp. You're the guy who's in the room. You're the guy who's showing up. You're the guy who is setting the tone for 2 rookie wide receivers in a younger receiver class. I'm the example. I'm your leader. You follow me. I know the way. I'm a team captain. And Brandon Aiyuk, the guy who isn't even here, is the one that's talked about with a big, bright, long future with his team, and I am definitely going to be traded at the end of the year. That's got to rub Debo the wrong way a little, right? You're in the room. You're here. You're playing bingo. The other guy doesn't even have a bingo card. But everyone's talking about how much better at bingo he's going to be than me. I can see how that would frustrate you. That would frustrate you a little bit. Let me tell you, when you got those frustrations going for you, there's one thing you definitely need, and that is a great sandwich. The Damon Bruce Show is brought to you by Aiyuk Sandwiches, and my man has got a delicious sandwich waiting for you this day, this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. I want you to go on that Aiyuk's Rewards app. I want you to look at all the locations that he has. If there's one around you, delivery's available. If you are working in an office, if it's up to you to order lunch for your office, think about going to my man Aiyuk. His catering is going to make everybody in your office really happy. Aiyuk Sandwiches, second to none. Go get yourself one and do it quickly. You'll be very happy that you did. And like I said, Aiyuk Sandwiches, not just for lunch anymore. You get big old Adam Richmond, put a big old steak sandwich like Damon Bruce in your mouth, a steak sandwich. It sounds like dinner to me. And then for your nightcap, if you live along West Portal, going to the Dubliner is easy. If you live anywhere along a Muni line, man, going to the Dubliner is easy for you too. Muni drops you right off in front of the Dubliner. So not only can you go in there and have a great time when you ask for my man Kenny to slip on by, but you also have your ride waiting for you to take you home at the end of the night. Get you there. You're not paying for parking. Just a Muni ride. Get yourself to the Dubliner on West Portal. See why it is an awesome neighborhood bar, sports bar, Irish bar, just a kind of bar. This is, you walk in there and you're like, yeah, this is what a bar is supposed to be. My kind of people, my kind of place. And if you want to support me, make sure you support those who are supporting me. The Dubliner, my man Aiyuk. A lot of love from both, and we thank them both very, very much for the support. Thank you for your support. You guys have all been awesome. You gals have been awesome. Your loyalty, your consistency, your likes, your subscribes, your memberships all mean a great deal. Thank you very, very much. Now, for you regulars, do you notice anything different? Anything different? Let me look at the chat. I haven't even looked at the chat going on here today. Oh, hey, Damon. Hey, Otis. How are you, man? Good to see you. What do we got here? What happens first? Brandon Aiyuk gets signed, or Women's USA Basketball admits they messed up and adds Caitlin Clark to the team? Good question, UC Steve. I will have some thoughts on Caitlin Clark coming up in just a little bit. Old Dirty Hungus couldn't make it out. Couldn't make it out, says, love you, miss the Blues family. June is my month with the kiddos. I'm going to be listening on the podcast with a lot of FOMO. You don't need any FOMO. You're not. That is fear of missing out. If you're listening to the podcast, you have missed nothing. Maybe you miss a Club Plus, but you know that's always waiting for you on YouTube to be enjoyed anytime you need it. Lot of good stuff going on. A lot of love from the chat and the good people out there. Do you notice anything differently? Do you notice anything different? It's not on this side. It's on this side. The Indiana pennant is gone. The Indiana pennant had a glass, it's framed. It's got, you could always see the reflection of the ring light in it. And it bothered me. I tried to cover it up with the Damon Bruce Plus logo, this logo right there. I tried to cover things up with that, but it still had like a halo effect around it. I move my hand. There you go. Now we got an A's Stomper hat, which got knitted by a fabulous woman who's sitting out in left field at A's games. Got a football up there. Got an old cassette case tape where I got shows that I did in college and in high school up there. How about this? I got my own trading card. One of two. This is the Damon Bruce Show and the Damon Amendola Show, made by a guy who came up and made this for us. There are two of these in the world. The value certain to go to the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. Even comes with a nice little stand. I like that. And look here. Last Dive Bar to commemorate made a Damon and Damon pin. So I'm going to get everything out of focus here. Damon and Damon Last Dive Bar pin. That was all. Again, thank you very much to everyone who came out and supported. Again, is it a good cause? Is it sad? It's certainly frustrating. Make sure you watch that mayor interview, man. I basically asked her, I was like, all politicians are kind of full of shit to begin with. So you got to have a pretty good bullshit detector on you. What did you think of every conversation you've ever had with Dave Cavill? She just looked at me like, that's her bullshit detector going off. I thought also, I asked her a question about Rob Manfred, and just a straight up question. How many times has the mayor of Oakland actually been in the same room with John Fisher? Once. They shared physical space one time. One time. Don't tell me you're seriously trying to get a deal done when that's the amount of time that you spend in a mayor's office or vice versa, trying to hammer out anything in a right-minded way. Oh, those sons of bitches. John Fisher, Dave Cavill. Bad people. Stop rubbing it in. Sorry that we missed you, Chef A. I know you've got a busy weekend. The mayor was fire. It was great to watch her say, fuck John Fisher. She did. She did. Damon, says Mario, I wish Damon gave the same effort when the Raiders left to Vegas. All he did was rub it in. No, I didn't rub it in, but there was no stopping that train. There was no one who was going to automatically make Mark Davis rich enough to own an NFL team unless he got the bankroll that the state of Nevada gave him, plus the Adelson family gave him. So he needed other people's money to get a deal done. John Fisher really, he needs it too. But remember, the Raiders had to go so the A's could stay. I don't want to get into it again. They're all sons of bitches. Anywho. One other thing that I saw from a football-related standpoint here is that when it comes to explosive plays of 30 or more yards, the 49ers actually led the league in plays of 30 or more yards. Warren Sharp broke it all down. The 49ers had 36 plays last regular season that went for 30 or more yards. No team in the NFL had 35 of them. No team in the NFL had 34 of them. Green Bay had 33 of them. The Dolphins had 32 of them. And the Rams had 32 of them. So when you look at Kyle Shanahan, who's on top of the list, and then everyone else who's in that top four, there are guys who come directly off the Kyle Shanahan tree. You got Kyle Shanahan's coaching tree leading the NFL of plays of 30 or more yards. All top four spots are Shanahan, LaFleur, McDaniel, and McVay. And those are probably, four of the most respected coaches in this league right now. McVay's got his championship, but the other three guys are very coveted in terms of who you would want to lead your team without having an actual Lombardi trophy to prove that they can win one of these. So there's a lot of smarts circulating around Kyle Shanahan throughout the years. And this year, I hope that they can get all the smarts that are left in that building in Santa Clara to get these contracts just done. This is a lousy cloud to have hanging over an otherwise sunny season that should be coming up for the 49ers. So hopefully it gets done quickly. And oh, by the way, the three worst teams on the list of 30 yards or more, Raiders, Patriots, and Carolina coming in dead last. Carolina only had a dozen plays that went 30 or more yards. We talked a little bit about, Kyle running more three receiver, maybe even a four receiver set. He was reluctant to say that he would be, says that there's going to be no major philosophical changes, but just look at the investment they made in the wide receiver room before wide receivers include the conversation of Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, it feels like that they got guys who can play there, and what's good having all these guys that can play if they're not out there playing? I think that the 49ers need to expand what they do as soon as they have the players to do just that, and I think that they got them right now. Don't commit yourself to a style when your style is we can be a little bit of everything. I mean, every game plan should be tailored around what defense are you facing today, where's the weak point, how do you exploit it? Don't tell me that there aren't times that you can exploit a defense easier with a four wide receiver set. So, again, Kyle, promise nothing, commit to nothing, and all you're being asked to deliver is a Lombardi trophy. Pretty easy, right? What else have we got going on an otherwise sort of a not a lot going on a Monday, as most June Mondays don't give you an awful lot, but we are inside of the NBA Finals, and if the Dallas Mavericks don't get it right, they're going to be outside of it soon enough. Boston is up 2-0. The Celtics haven't even gotten a good game out of Tatum yet. Porzingis is just working himself back into basketball shape. Luka Doncic, unfortunately, he's got like a bruised sternum, wrist, knee, ankle, like it's all starting, the wheels are starting to fall off of Luka, and he's still a 30-point triple-double. The guy is unbelievable, but he's got no help. And Kyrie Irving has to be that first guy up to help him out. And that hasn't happened, man. It's like Kyrie sees those Boston Celtics jerseys or that parquet floor, and he forgets that he is the rededicated to basketball Kyrie Irving that impressed us all year long. So Luka's got no help. And the Celtics, they're just playing great defense. Drew Holiday and Derek White are everywhere. And if we're being completely honest, the NBA playoffs have sucked this year. I mean, they've really sucked this year. There's not a lot of interesting going on in the NBA playoffs. We've had one Game 7, and the rest of it has just kind of been a yawn. Lopsided outcomes almost everywhere you look. And Game 3 of the NBA Finals is going to be on Wednesday, and if this is going to even pretend to get interesting, the Dallas Mavericks need to win that. And even if they do, it's still, I think, in my mind, set up to be a gentleman's sweep. It feels like Boston's going to go get one in Dallas, and that means Game 5 could close it all out back in Boston, especially if that's a place that makes Kyrie all jittery. So I would hate to think that we're going to get a lousy NBA Finals, but we're already tracking in that direction when you kind of look at and calculate all the moving parts. Hope I'm wrong. I would kill for a Game 6, a Game 7 here in the NBA Finals. Give me something to watch. There's nothing on my TV other than mediocre baseball. At least there's good coffee in my cup. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Dan Hurley's not taking that Lakers job, since we're talking NBA. Dan Hurley, I started this morning thinking that this could actually happen here, but no, this is Dan Hurley telling the Lakers no to a 6-year, $70 million contract, or 60 years over 7, whatever it was. Dan Hurley is going back to UConn, and not going to LA. And, obviously the transfer portal doesn't bother him. The recruiting college, name, image, and likeness, which a lot of people say, look, there's going to be a lot of college coaches jumping to the NBA the first chance they get to do it, because coaching collegiately is just a headache now. You can't even yell at a player because they might hit a transfer portal. Do you want that? Would the Lakers or any professional basketball team respond to the style that Danny Hurley has projected in his coaching career? He seems a little unhinged. So that seemed a little bit like a strange fit. But apparently the Lakers made that offer and they got turned down. That's an interesting little development. Normally, $70 million to move from Connecticut to Los Angeles is a deal that people take. But not Dan Hurley. Again, no matter who the Lakers hire is, this is going to be LeBron's 4th head coach in 7 years in LA. He had a grand total of 5 head coaches in the first 15 years of his career. So it has been a revolving door for coaches, for the Lakers and LeBron post his double dipping in Cleveland days. The one thing that you do have on this evening to go along with a little Giants baseball, if you're going to watch that, is the fact that Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will be happening down in Florida. A 1-0 Panthers lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Hopefully, hopefully the Stanley Cup will give us a Game 7. I don't want to sweep there too. I mean, I can only lean into the Broomhilda emoji so many times. What is she? It's not even emoji. It's a GIF. It's not even a GIF. It's a picture. Broomhilda, the meme. Oh, Broomhilda. I don't want to see Broomhilda again for a while, unless some baseball teams having a nice little sweep, which unfortunately the Giants got denied down in Texas with a big Ranger win on Sunday. They took the first 2 games. A 6-game homestand begins with the Houston Astros this evening, this Monday night in San Francisco. Giants got a good little rotation set up against the Astros, who ain't your papa's Astros. Right now, they're 6 games under 500, and they're going to have Harrison, Hicks, and Webb going in these 3 games before the Angels get to town coming up later this week. So let's see if the Giants can make that climb back towards 500. We'll see if they can get there. Are you ready for a little WNBA talk? I can't believe here we are doing it again. And it is through the prism of Caitlin Clark that has brought the WNBA to my table once again. But the WNBA doesn't seem to be learning from that. Or whoever the female equivalent of the women's U.S. national teams, who is their Jerry Colangelo? Who puts the U.S. women's team together? What group of coaches, GMs, executives, who does this? And what in God's name are they thinking leaving Caitlin Clark off the team? Why? Why would you do that? Would you like to go out of your way to completely retard the growth of your league and the profitability of your league? Did you not watch any of the 12 documentaries ever put out about the dream team? Not that the women are, need a dream team. The women can absolutely show up to Paris and win the gold medal with their eyes blindfolded. There are basically no more than 6, 7, 8 countries that take women's sports very seriously to begin with, an even smaller group of countries when it comes to women's team sports, and an even smaller group of countries when it comes to women's basketball. America has decided we will care about women's basketball in a way that no other country on the planet has made that choice, and it should be a walk in the park. The women roll in the Olympics in ways that the men will never be afforded ever again. The world has caught up with the men, not with the women of the U.S. women's national team. So the ladies can probably go undefeated en route to a gold medal without Caitlin Clark. I'll give them that much. But the group of people who allowed this are just such short-sighted douchebags. I wouldn't want anyone around this decision, around a single element of any big business decision to ever be made, because it is incalculable. I can't even think of the amount of money. It is truly incalculable, the amount of money that women's basketball leaves on the table, the amount of exposure that women's basketball has left on the table by not having the darling of American basketball on the women's U.S. team. What are you thinking? The amount of money that comes from this exposure. The embarrassing fact that Caitlin Clark will still probably be the most discussed player on the team. Here's the thing. All of you ladies on the U.S. women's Olympic basketball team, to the grand growth of the sport, you can only pretend to matter in a way that Caitlin Clark actually does. Don't like that? Offended by that? Does not matter. The truth does not matter who it offends, and no single element. I saw this one woman who's been covering the league, I guess, or writing or something anyways, but she's like, the reason why the WNBA doesn't like Caitlin Clark is because she hasn't come out to define herself on any social issues. And if anything, the WNBA is a league that addresses social injustices. Well, guess what? While that's the league that you were, nobody watched you. Nobody paid attention to you. Nobody gave a flying rip about a single game that was played, a championship that was won, a star that was forced upon us, hoisted upon the masses. None of them landed like Caitlin Clark. You don't get to choose the prism through which the world comes to you. The world makes that choice. The world has chosen this woman as the reason why we're finally watching your league, and you're going to leave her off the Olympic team. Does anybody else notice that the only person who is handling Caitlin Clark's entry into women's professional basketball with any grace is Caitlin Clark? Did you hear what she said about the snub? She goes, "Hey, coach, they woke a monster." So there you go. Caitlin Clark, who I believe leads the WNBA in turnovers. So again, don't you have other point guards to handle the ball? But she leads the league in turnovers, which ain't good, but she has the second most assists in the sport, and she has the most threes in the sport. You're telling me you're going to go to an international competition in modern basketball without your best three-point shooter in the league? I'm not going to say I'm going to be rooting against the American women. I'm not rooting against my own country in the Olympics. But if you do get your wings clipped, I will giggle. I will laugh for sure. And let me just say this. I don't want to undermine any Olympic thing, but WNBA, you are really smelling your own farts if you think that The reason why you're watching is the robust interest in this rookie class, or now the league. Everyone has come to the league through Caitlin Clark. All the casuals, all the new people. And it is the casuals and the new people that are now making your league matter. So to say we don't need them, we just need women's college basketball fans who care about this sport, there ain't enough for you to fill a Sephora, okay? Much less an arena. If there's one wish that I could make to just kind of put all of these salty WNBA players back in their place, because they have forgotten their place in pecking order. And here's the pecking order. It's Caitlin Clark first, and then the nameless, faceless, don't give a flying shit about the rest of you are second through last. Doesn't even matter which order you're in, because there's only one woman that really matters to this sport right now. Damon, that offends me. I don't care. It's the truth. But what about Angel Reese? What about her? If she never played another game and Caitlin Clark kept playing, the ratings would be fine. Other way around, it would be a disaster. There's a part of me that if I could grant one sports wish, if I could make one sports wish, is that Caitlin Clark would retire right now from the WNBA. And her press conference should be, you're all a bunch of ungrateful bitches, and I'm going to take Ice Cube up on his offer to go play in the Big Three for $5 million a year. Screw all of you. How do you think the WNBA would feel about her then? As all of those private jets start getting canceled, all of those chartered flights stop getting canceled, and you're back rolling up to Chicago on a Greyhound bus from Indianapolis. How great would that be? Do you think there might be a little bit more appreciation for Caitlin Clark thrown out into the world at that point in time? Wouldn't that be amazing if Caitlin Clark was just like, I'm retiring. Big Three for me. All of you suck. Big group of mean girls. That's what the WNBA looks like. You look like the mean girls. And I guess that would make Caitlin Clark Lindsay Lohan, right? I don't get it. Imagine the first ever golden goose to land on your farm. And you're like, kill it. Kill the golden goose. Kill it. Kill it now. The other geese are jealous. Let's kill the golden goose. What are you doing? What are you doing? Again, the Jerry Colangelo, whoever is solely, or the group of people that are responsible for leaving Caitlin Clark off this team. And by the way, Caitlin Clark should be like, I don't even want to go. I'm exhausted. I've been playing hardcore basketball for about 18 straight months here. I don't even want to go. The Olympics will be waiting for me. I'll get there one day. But no, she wasn't even invited onto the team. She wasn't even given a right of denial. How? How? It's just so bad for the sport. It is so short-sighted. And again, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA couldn't sustain itself financially by itself. With Caitlin Clark, I don't think the WNBA could sustain itself by itself. But without her, certainly even less of a chance. It'd be awesome if she retired. I'm going to the Big Three. How jealous do you think all those women would be if Caitlin Clark is now getting to hang out with frickin' Ice Cube? Oh, that would just make them more jealous. You know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to hop into a little Club Plus here to kick off this week. So if you're watching, stay tuned. We got disco lights coming up. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you very, very much for doing so. And we're going to have a great week. We're going to have a really good week. Next week, I'm going to be, for a little bit of it, going up to Tahoe, spending some time with the family, taking a little bit of a break. So if there are a few days next week where, like Daddy's gone, you'll know why. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, whew, he's gone. Hold on. Where is this thing? There it is. I put it somewhere where I was easily going to grab it. And then, of course, it fell. All right. Hold on. Boom. There we go. Damon, are you broadcasting live from Sphere in Las Vegas? No. But I do have the squeakiest disco ball in San Francisco. Cheers. All right. What do we got going on here? What is going on right now? Again, Mario, Damon, wish you gave the Raiders some effort too. Sorry. It's my fault. It's all my fault. Every sport in Oakland that's not there anymore, it must be me. Must have been 95-7 the game. Must have been somebody's other excuse. This is Kenny, 49ers. Thanks for doing the Lord's work, Damon. It's my pleasure. I don't know. I don't even know what that means, but thank you very, very much. Michelle Haberman said, Phil brought his friend Nicole. We hung out a bunch. It was great to see Michelle. Hung out with Michelle at the game. I promised Michelle that I would buy her a beer, and then it was such a busy day, I totally forgot to buy Michelle a beer. Michelle, next Plus Mania, you get 2 beers. I promise. Ernie Chavez says, who's Gina? Gina's in the chat. You see Gina? Her name is out there. You'll see her in the chat. I don't know if she's here today, but we saw Gina. She was sweet as hell. Thanks so much for coming on in. Ernie again. Ernie, I don't think I can go to you if you're going to claim this 95-7 Doobie winner shit. I'm sorry, man. 95-7, good luck to everybody, but I'm not going to be doing any advertising for them. You're going to have to drop that from me. What does that even mean? What is 95-7 Doobie winner? What is that? What kind of candy-ass promotion is that they ran? Got UC Steve saying, word on the street, Steelers are looking to maybe get Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're hearing too. But for who, for what? For who, for what? And why did that not have... Why did that not happen before the draft? Why did that not happen before the draft? Otis Bird, he knows what's up. Shout out that Muni M line. Yeah, you want to get yourself to the Dubliner in one piece? Shout out Muni M lines. Rockin' New Era saying, Damon, Dublin is closer to me than the Dubliner, unfortunately. Hey, sorry, man. Then if I were you, I would fly myself to what the big gate in front of Guinness and go get yourself a delicious Guinness there. Mike, Damon trying to call out a haircut? No, haven't had a haircut. No haircut. Trimmed up the beard a little. Tightened it up a little. It's getting a little floofy. But that's it. No haircut. Mountain Cat. Hey, Plusers. Hey, Mountain Cat. There you go. The trading cards where Jack artwork used to be. Let me tell you, Jack and I have been doing an awful lot of drawing. We did a lot of drawing and coloring over the weekend. Sitting there talking life lessons with my son. It was awesome. I'm a 49-year-old man who loves coloring with a 4-year-old. I had a great weekend. Absolute great weekend. Mike Tomlin got an extension. Mike Tomlin got an extension? Well, I thought he was going to be the next guy who's got to go if he doesn't make the playoffs. Obviously, he never misses the playoffs, right? So, look, Mike Tomlin is the best, least appreciated coach in football. Good for Mike Tomlin. Now, Otis is like, wow, that Indiana pennant is gone. Again, it was the reflecting glass that was driving people nuts. So we had to get it out of there. It's right over there. I got it leaned up against the railing. Tried to figure out where else to put it. I'd have to take it out of its frame, which I'm not going to do. So yeah, there we go. This is all sort of temporary. What I need some super helmets. Michelle's like, those Stomper hats were rad. They really were. I got 3 Stomper hats. One my size, the adult size one that's right up there right now, and then 2 upstairs for the boys. The boys love their Stomper hats. It would be just like me to get the kids involved in the A's now that they're about to abandon them. True Blue saying that was a really, really good interview with the mayor. Thank you very much. That Indiana pennant about to be replaced by an Alabama pennant? Well, it is an elephant. Just roll tide. Indiana football, Alabama football. Can you even tell them apart anymore? Come on. Chef A, I want a Bruce trading card. Get in line, sister. 2 of those are made. Damon, what about the swag? One of the T-shirts coming. Yeah, this will be it'll be this holiday season. This holiday season. True Blue Forever wants us to know Indiana beat Pakistan in the Cricket World Cup. Well, that's better than nuclear war, so that's good. Konnichiwa from Chef A. Konnichiwa. Back to you. Damon, I love that mosh pit at the boycott the other day. Yeah, there was this punk band with the angriest woman in Oakland leading it. She was very angry. And there were all these punked out kids having a little bit of a mosh pit. And all of a sudden, the F. John Fisher reverse boycott, which the A's are now undefeated in. The reverse boycott was punk. Got a little punk in that parking lot. Leslie's just being honest, saying, honestly, I lost all the interest in the NBA playoffs when the Warriors were knocked out. I tell you, we're about to enter a very interesting time here for the Warriors. There is going to be something that happens with the Warriors in the next couple of weeks. There has to be. It's when, as soon as the NBA Finals ends and the league year business starts opening up at the end of June, that's when things get done. So we'll see what the Warriors got up their sleeves, and we'll probably see it sooner than later. We got Smiley Dan saying NHL and NCAA baseball tonight. Georgia versus NC State. Winner goes to Omaha. Here's the thing. I can't pretend to be interested in the College World Series until you are in Omaha. Like when it's there, then I'll lean in. Outside of that, sorry. Clemson and Florida State, I don't care. But yeah, Stanley Cup, Game 2, I'm in. I'm in. And I'll have the Giants on the flip back. Again, Red Jet, it was great to see you. Ran out in the audience, gave Red Jet a big hug. She is a huge supporter of the channel, and I thank you very much, Red Jet. Thanks to all of you. Again, not everybody can make it out, but I feel the support. It was unbelievable, and that was a really fun room to be working with Damon the other day in Oakland. It really was. Ernie asked a good question, like, when's the last time the Lakers actually got the coach that they wanted? Oh, they wanted Darvin Ham, right? They wanted Darvin Ham. How'd that do? What else? You see Steve saying, those Astros, they need to bring back those trash cans for a little assistance, right? Wait, at least we got the Olympic trials to look forward to. I love me Simone Biles. Isn't Simone Biles done? Simone Biles isn't going to be on the Olympic team again, right? Didn't she get the yips? And she didn't want to do it anymore? I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Is Simone Biles still in the mix? Smiley Dan says, I don't know. I changed my mind on the Caitlin Clark to the Olympic team. It doesn't service the game to have 80% of the attention on somebody who only comes in during garbage time. Well, I don't think you give Caitlin Clark garbage time, but you know it's going to be even more awkward when Caitlin Clark is being discussed at the Olympic Games she's not even in. That will make things a little awkward. Caitlin Clark and her absence on the team will probably be as covered an Olympic talking point than who's on the team. Mario says, I like women's USA soccer more than the WNBA. Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of either, but I'd rather watch basketball than soccer any day of the week. Are ex-Pac-12 people the same people running women's basketball? Seriously. It is ridiculous to leave the biggest name in your sport off the roster. We got here. I'm a Rooster says, I don't watch the Olympics. Men's basketball and women's basketball isn't getting me to watch the Olympics. Well, then I guess it didn't matter who they sent. You shouldn't care at all. Why even bother commenting? I like the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I actually like the Winter Olympics more than I even like the Summer Olympics. I like Olympic hockey. Olympic hockey, to me, is still the best Olympic team sport. Better than basketball, better than volleyball, better than soccer. Native Dancer says, kind of brings the word entitled to mind in the WNBA. I mean, here's the thing. What are you entitled to? You've just moved after 20 plus years of existence. You just moved off of next to no attention to some attention. Why would you be entitled? Like, I don't get it. You know, look, I'm not asking for every woman in the league to walk around hat in hand, humbled by Caitlin Clark's presence, but don't work against it. Don't work against it. Oh, it's not I'm a rooster. It's I'm a roaster. Damon once said, I'd rather lose with Trey than win with Jimmy. Yeah, because you needed to find out. Look at it this way. We were at the end of the Jimmy Garoppolo experiment, and you needed to start the Trey Lance experiment to see what you even had. And with the investment that they made in him, I thought it was more important to see what the guys got than what Jimmy had left. So that's what I meant by that. And look, Jimmy did play well at the end there until he got hurt. Rockin' New Era. But I want a golden goose and I want it now. Thank you, Veruca. I want a bean feast. What the fuck's a bean feast? Is that like jelly beans? Can't imagine like there's a, whole bunch of girls sitting around at the Veruca Salt party eating a can of baked beans. What's a bean feast? British are weird. Smiley Dan says she shouldn't want to go. She isn't playing well. No rookie made it. The Olympics never embrace rookies. She would be the Christian Laettner of the team. At no point in time was Christian Laettner the most famous guy on the Dream Team. Look, you don't have to give Caitlin Clark playing time, but she should be on the team. This should be an experience that she's having. And when it comes to the fact that she's not playing well, that's not true. She leads the WNBA in three-pointers made. She is second in the WNBA in assists. She's a turnover machine because she's the only woman that you got to guard on the Indiana Fever. The rest of them can't hardly play. So she's getting hounded. Imagine if she were on a team where she wasn't the only one to hound, or if you did hound her, there's 4 other women out there who can actually give you something. Like, to me, you have Caitlin Clark on the floor just for gravity. I'm not saying she's female Steph Curry, but she has gravity. And you'd think you'd want that on the floor. I mean, Caitlin Clark, the decoy, is better than the skill set of at least 5 other women who are going to be on that team. Joji, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would be without any endorsement or sponsorship deals. No, I mean, here's the thing. They would still have endorsements and sponsorships, but they'd be coming in way underneath the monetary value that they're in right now, and there would be next to no discussion about the league, period. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You know, the WNBA is a boutique now pretending it's Walmart. It's not. Without the NBA subsiding you and the interest that Caitlin Clark has brought to you, if at any point in time the WNBA had to go survive on its own, it would die in the world quickly. And that feels like something that the women involved don't want to admit. Again, there's not a lot of people there want to admit the reality of all this. You know, Cameron Brink made the 3-on-3, the 3x3 team. Did she? Great. Okay, that's great. Cameron Brink. I'll tell you right now, Cameron Brink might be a fabulous basketball player. I haven't seen any other WNBA player for anything other than like this is their pregame outfit, but for Caitlin Clark. Someone's going to Tahoe for the 4th. Good job, Zothmis. Yeah, we're going up. We're going up with another couple who got kids the same age as we got. My friend. How about this? How about this for a really, really great story? I agree, Smiley. I don't even know what she agreed to, but there you go, Michelle. So when Jillian and I just started dating, she lived on Fillmore. In an apartment close to Fillmore Jackson Trattoria. And we used to go in there for dinner quite a bit. Their carbonara is fantastic. So Jillian and I would usually sit, not at a table, but there was a bar. And we would sit at the bar, and I would sit at the window. And whenever I could, I would sit at the seats that was closest to the window so you could watch cook. And one night, this bartender, this waiter, he's waiting on me. And we're having a wonderful back and forth. We're just talking, just chatting, and we're having Jillian and I are having a great date. And at the end of it, he's like, "You guys want anything more? Do you want any dessert? Any, after dinner drink?" And I looked at Jillian. We were both stuffed. I'd had a big bowl of carbonara with freaking sausage in it, and I was stuffed, and she was stuffed. And I just said, "No, that's it. That's ball game." And when I said ball game, he goes, "You're Damon Bruce." That guy's name was Robin. Robin and I became friendly. I mean, we whenever we went in there, we always looked for Robin. We loved Robin. So that's how I met Robin. That's how Jillian and I met Robin. Jillian's friend Alana just happened to go in there, meet the same guy, fall in love, get married, and have kids. So one of Jillian's best friends married a guy that was like our own personal restaurant, fun neighborhood connection. And it's just amazing how small the city gets sometimes. And so it is with Alana and Robin and their kids that we're going up to Tahoe with. And we're going to do it next week. And the Duchess is coming to town next week. And we might have a little breaking Duchess news to share with you at some point in time, but it's a need-to-know basis, and right now you don't all need to know. Let's see. He's saying, hey, Damon, you said Tahoe with the family. Ploosters are family. You are, but I just can't pick up all your Airbnbs. Not at this point in time here. Antonio Baker says, the hero worshiping LeBron James has hurt the NBA, and the media hero worshiping with Caitlin Clark is going to hurt the WNBA. First of all, you couldn't hurt the WNBA. The WNBA didn't exist until Caitlin Clark came around, so let's not pretend. And you can say whatever you want about LeBron James. LeBron James and Steph Curry being involved in NBA Finals means triple the audience that this current NBA Finals is delivering. Certainly double. Basketball and star power are not strange bedfellows. It's good for the sport. It's good to bring in the casuals. So, there you go. And Ernie says, no worries if you don't want to read my comments. What is 95.7 the doobie? Look at it this way. All I know is that your comments mean so much to 95.7 the game, Ernie. They turn that shit off. No more chat on 95.7. How about that? I don't know. Were there a whole bunch of ploosters in there saying, where's Damon? Where's Damon? Where's Damon every day? Is that why they had to turn it off? No way. Did Tomlin get it extended? That Steelers job is like a Supreme Court justice appointment. It's a lifetime job. It really is, man. The Steelers, what if they had 3 coaches, right? Did Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. It's amazing. What else we got? Reaching the end of the chat here. Omaha. Thank you. True Blue forever, Peyton Manning. Red Jet saying it was cool to hang out with the old school AC transit bus. Yeah, Line 51 has a Line 51 bus right in there. We got Sporticus saying Simone Biles just swept every event she was in at the World Championships. She'll definitely be a headliner at the Olympics. I thought she had retired. Again, I start following women's gymnastics in the Olympics. I have no idea about the run-up or who's qualifying or U.S. championships or anything. I got no clue. Can we get Gianna to sing the Olympic song again? Bum, 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 bum. We got to get Gianna back in here soon. We really do. Oh, Simone Biles. Again, we got double confirmation here. Simone Biles back in top form. That's good. It was amazing that she pulled out of the Olympics with the yips, right? That was incredible. Just shows you how much it's mental. You can have all the physical ability in the world, but if you aren't mentally ready to go compete at that level, you can't do that, man. You can't. Ernie, is Damon a sausage guy? I love if the choice is meatballs or Italian sausage. I am taking the Italian sausage just about every time. I'm more of a sausage guy than a meatball guy, and it got to the point at Jackson Fillmore at Jackson Fillmore where instead of like cutting the sausage and right on top, they would sneak it under the carbonara so it'd get delivered to me. I'd be like, "Where's the sausage?" And then the 2 guys would meet me in the kitchen. They'd be like, And I would open it up, and there it was. The sausage hidden in the carbonara. Damon, that's an awesome story, right? Isn't that incredible? Isn't that really cool? How a guy that was there early on in Jillian and mine's dating life goes on to marry one of Jillian's best friends. And now we're all friends. It's cool. It is Ranger 49, a small world. Indeed, small world. JT Conlon saying food takes you places. It does. It does. I just food matters, man. It's, if you want to know someone, go get a meal with them. Food matters. I'm a big bar restaurant guy. Always have been. Damon, when I also lived in the city, we would go to Jackson Fillmore. It was one of our favorite places. What a small world. The place was great. Jackson Fillmore was fantastic. I haven't been in such a long time. But I hope it's still great. I hope it's still great. It was easy. I mean, like Jillian and I didn't even have to cross. We basically just crossed the street. It was right out her front door. She lived right on the corner of Jackson and Fillmore. So it was right there. It's a great little apartment Jillian had. Turning off the chat is so soft, Ranger 49. Yeah, why did the station do that? Did they get harassed? Is the Duchess moving to San Francisco? No, she's not moving to San Francisco. But the Duchess has very good things happening in her life right now. Things that have made me very, very happy, made my sister very, very happy. I'll tell you right now, the Duchess is in love. Isn't that great? Damon, I want your take on Blake Snell. Yeah, I mean, so far, waste of money. It's been a disaster, right? Just an absolute disaster. Blake Snell, how could a take be anything other than this has been awful? Abe Froman, nothing on Damon, the sausage king of Chicago. Damon, what about gnocchi? So to me, if you want the best gnocchi in San Francisco, you got to go to Trattoria Contadina. That's on Union and, was that Mason or something? I don't know. But on Union Trattoria Contadina's got the best gnocchi I've had in San Francisco. So that's my gnocchi spot. I tell you what, if he was traded, that would be the hashtag. Aiyuk. Not Aiyuk. Aiyuk. Very good, Kenny 49ers. I'm going to steal that from you. What is this? Red Baron is heartbroken about that news. Uh-oh. Oh, that's right. SF Indigo. My heart's breaking. Yeah, Baron Red hit on my mom at Plusmania 1. Adorable. Please push it. Look, if he does get traded, Aiyuk absolutely, we're going there. That's it, everybody. Fun Monday show. I hope you agree. It was great having you here. Thank you so much for coming on by and hanging out. We will have more for you tomorrow with an 11 o'clock show. We got wake-ups back this week on Wednesday and Friday. Working on I know I've been promising you JT the Brick. We're really going to try to make that happen this week. We've just been running into, he gets busy, I get busy, and we haven't been able to put it together. Hopefully we're going to have JT the Brick on, and we will be talking some Raider football. I know you've been requested out there, and that's my insider for any and all things silver and black. So there you go. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks to everyone who showed up and supported. Damon's a poppin' at Line 51 last Friday. Thank you for supporting me, my sponsors, each other. here's my promise to you. I will never turn the chat off because we got onions around here. We're not afraid of a little feedback. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all. That's why it breaks my heart to tell you that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.